All right, welcome back, YouTube. So in tonight's video, I'm just going to do a brief recap of what we saw this week, pretty much where Dogecoin is maintaining, and then I'll take some questions for a few moments, just kind of like wrap up the. I know crypto is like 24/7, but it's kind of going to wrap up the end of the trading week, and so we can just kind of touch base before we go into the weekend, because I know the market had somewhat of a sell-off today, well, yesterday, today, and Dogecoin is pretty much holding its own and not breaking any of the support levels. And we're going to get into why that is, and then I'll take some questions. So, as per usual, just let me know if you can hear me, and then I'll jump right into it. And I want to really point out, because normally I'll take a look at like the annual and the day, but I know most people are not simply like day trading, so we don't break down like any smaller increments than that. But I want to take a look here to kind of show where Dogecoin is really holding on, which is really bullish, and why we're not breaking the new cycle just yet. So this is really, really bullish here as far as for short-term momentum for the coin. So let me. Okay, great, great. Glad everybody can hear me. Okay, so I'm gonna take a look here at the 1 month, and let's see. We'll take a zoom in here. So I want to take a look here, just pretty much at the 1 month and where we are coming up here till today. And I was stating that even on the annual, we're pretty much bouncing between the 21-day and the 72-day moving average. 21-day is going to be the yellow line, 72 purple, 200 the red line. And even on the monthly chart here, we are now pretty much trending right along with our 21-day moving average. So until and this pretty much means that the support is literally being support. That means that we're pretty much just holding on to our current average. When you start like overshooting it or breaking down below your 21-day moving average, that's going to show some bearish evidence there. But that's not the case with Dogecoin. We're trending right along with our 21-day moving average on the 1 month. And same thing on the 5-day. We're right along with our 21-day, bouncing between 21, 200 on the 5-day, which is, again, this is confirmation that the support is holding its own. And you can take a look at the 1-day. Let's see. Yeah, so pretty much, yeah, right between the 21-day and the 200-day moving average. So Doge is the support is doing what it's supposed to do, which is supporting. So we are, even for the week with the breakdown, this is the reason why I say it's short-term bullish is because this is a more natural price reaction when you don't have that downward pressure and the manipulation coming in, like shorts and stuff like that, pushing the coin down and forcing it to kind of overshoot just because the market had somewhat of a sell-off. You don't see like Doge like trying to go through the floor or something like that when the market is, had a 2% sell-off, or I think it was down like 1.9% or something like that. But nothing like extreme or alarming, but we're not having these sell-offs, even though you see coins like Bitcoin and stuff like that having these major sell-offs. And this is, yes, Dogecoin tracks Bitcoin. And yes, Bitcoin is the biggest influencer in the market, but Dogecoin has a lot of holders. And this is really just supporting evidence to show that unless shorts come in really heavily and start manipulating and pushing the coin down, Doge has stabilization. These huge swings that we've been seeing, this downward momentum, and Bitcoin will have a sell-off, and then Doge will just absolutely like overreact and go through the floor. We're now seeing that, okay, when we don't have those huge spikes, we see what Doge does, which is pretty much nothing because people aren't selling. So this is really great, and really just great evidence for the Dogecoin community and the Dogecoin holders. So I am really, really excited for Dogecoin's future, and it's doing really great this week. Another pretty much just a solid week of no BS, or not saying no BS, but not extreme BS from like shorts and stuff like that. And we see that Dogecoin is literally building up that support level right around the 14-cent mark. So really great. This is really great going into next week. So I'm going to take a few questions here, and then we will wrap up. But I pretty much wanted to make this video just to kind of talk to you guys, see what you guys were thinking, and see if I can be of any service to you. Hey, David, this is getting old. Need Doge to be over $1. Win, win, win. Thanks for watching. um, yeah, so yeah, Doge is especially going to the dollar mark, especially now with there's so much uncertainty in the market. We're looking at a little bit of a wait before that happens. Doge going to $1. We're either going to have new money come in, like via like a catalyst or something like that, and this overpower shorts anybody that hates Doge, or we're going to have the entire crypto market appreciate together. And that's something that's called like a bull market, and that's where the market's going to rally pretty much to new all-time highs. But we're going to have to wait on one of those two things, and we're going to have some confirmation on what type of year we're going to have roughly in the next 30 to 60 days. So we pretty much have to get a couple more of these CPIs and see what pretty much how the country responds without the stimulus and the QE and stuff like that. So to kind of get an idea of what kind of year we're going to have. So we'll have some concrete answers on at least a time frame within the next 30 to 60 days. I'm feeling like I'm ready to pull out of crypto. I was hoping for bigger and better things. No, crypto is still in its infancy stages. I'm telling you, crypto, like a lot of times people have been in crypto for, like a year or so, and it's like, oh my God, I thought it was gonna like, go to the moon and stuff like that. Like crypto is still a baby. Like you're gonna have to think a long term and kind of open up your horizon here. And you'll see that these coins that survive the consolidation, these coins are going to appreciate greatly. Just going to have a bit of patience. Hello, David. Hello, Bob. How are you? Cyber crypto is just holding on. It will crash with equities next week, David. No, yeah, crypto. If we have like that liquidation, which I do believe we're going to have, that's why I haven't retracted any of like my bottom numbers for Doge or for Bitcoin until we get some concrete answers on the macros. That there's still a possibility that we can have like those sell-offs in the market. Until those macro events are addressed, until we have some solutions, that remains a very strong possibility. So that's one of the reasons why I haven't retracted any of my statements about some of those bottom numbers that I believe Bitcoin and Doge can go to. Hello there. Keep doing what you're doing. Good stuff. Thank you. Thank you, Paul. How are you? I like what I'm hearing so far. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. We are going to crypto era. It's sad to see how much crypto is manipulated. I was hoping it wouldn't be as manipulated as stocks. Yeah, no, well, anything with that much money is going to have some manipulation. It's like we're fighting to get some reform in the stock market. And this is one of the things I said we have to be careful with the crypto market, because we have like Gary Gensler and stuff saying that, crypto is the Wild West and we need regulation, which we do. But we're going to have to be really careful about what kind of regulation, or we are going to mirror the stock market. But when you start seeing these crazy numbers, like I think the crypto market peaked at like $3.2 trillion. That's not retail money. Like we have to look at like the sum total of the market, and Bitcoin represents over 50% of the market, and it's like you have like $1 trillion plus asset. That's not retail money. So when it's not retail money, yes, we're going to see some form of manipulation in there, because the house is going to make sure, you hear the phrase, the house never loses. So they're going to do whatever they can to drive revenue, attention to the assets that they have chosen to invest in. And, for crypto, that's going to be like Bitcoin, some Ethereum as well, but primarily Bitcoin. And then when you have retail who says that we're going to have this other coin, or let's use this coin, and, i.e. Dogecoin, that's a problem. So, we're going to see some resistance there. And I think that's kind of like where we are right now. Next week is going to be bloody. Yeah, strong possibility. Absolutely. Need FOMO to kick in. Yeah, FOMO will, we'll have to break through some of the, I think once we break like that 20, probably like around the 25-cent range, that's when we'll get like some real FOMO. And then, they're really going to have to step up, especially shorts and stuff, if they want to kind of get the price under control. But that's why we see them being a little proactive here prior to Doge catching that momentum in the 20s. Is it really worth spending my Doge at AMC? Long-term capital gains tax plus sales tax. Um, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily. I'm not sure how much money you plan on spending at AMC, but simply, if you were going to, just swing by occasionally and get like a movie ticket, or just something you was planning on doing anyway, and just instead of like cash using, um, Doge, then that would certainly like help. But unless you were, I'm not sure. I guess buying AMC tickets for like for like a school or something like that, it shouldn't offset your taxes by that much. When do you think we can hit 25 cents? Well, I think the equilibrium for Doge is actually around that range, even right now. I think that we should be hovering around like 22 to 25 cents. And then we have these sell-offs. I think we should be kind of dipping down below. So that's the effect that I believe that the shorts have had on Doge. They're pretty much taken off like an additional, like roughly about 10 cent from where I believe the actual equilibrium of Doge is. But as far as for when, I'd say even regardless of like what's going on like this year, unless we have like a total liquidation in the market, or and we have some like recession confirmations and these mass sell-offs, we should be able to expect, I say 25 cents around the time like a 30 to 60-day window, because what we're looking for is confirmation in the macro events. And that's kind of what we're going to have within the next month or two. So whether or not we're going to see shorts kind of come in, because remember, the biggest thing for us to get to 25 cents is definitely going to be shorts. That's what we've been battling on every catalyst, every run up in the market. Even Elon makes an announcement with Tesla merge, we have these huge spikes up, and shorts come in and they start beating the hell out of it. Anytime it touches anything near 20 cents, that's going to be our biggest obstacle. But once we have that, again, that concrete data, as far as with CPI, inflation, and you start getting these numbers back, that's going to determine whether or not there's going to be a vacuum on the market. So I'm expecting that confirmation within the next month or so. Hello, Bevan. How are you? YouTube channel called Conscious came out with a video regarding economy and macro events yesterday. It's interesting. Okay. What are your bottom numbers for BTC and Doge? Thank you. So for Doge, the bottom number, I do believe that we'll probably have the brakes pumped probably at around like 10 cents or so. But if we had a liquidation in the market, the charts say that Doge can pretty much has a bottom number of around like 6 cents. But that's just total like market meltdown, like recession, housing market collapse, stuff like that. These are like the extreme sides here. But I do believe that it can be overvalued. Oversold, and we'll see people come in and start pumping the brakes on that, and we'll be able to get a lot of price action between like 8 and 10 cents. Those are going to be like the bottom numbers. In that same situation, that'll place Bitcoin at around 20 to 25,000. Once we have once we have the market breakdown, the brakes can be pumped on that a little early, and people will start taking positions, because at that point, obviously, it's oversold. And this really just comes from not necessarily retail selling, which retail, there will certainly be some selling pressure from retail, but institutions pretty much having to rebalance their portfolios. Because we see that money is not as cheap as it used to be to borrow once they start raising these interest rates and stuff like that, and pretty much being forced to cover like a lot of these positions. They're going to have to free up some money and rebalance these portfolios. So this is going to cause like some dips in the market once we get that concrete information that on these macros. So people will start to take advantage of that. Those who have been prepared or who are looking at the macros and sees this as a possibility, they're stacking cash. They're still investing, but they're stacking cash to be able to kind of swoop in these events of these major breakdowns so they can ride the next wave up. So those are going to be people that are pumping the brakes. We're going to see these buy orders come in to take advantage of these prices. But those are the bottom number. I've done a few videos on those. Even if there's a video, I forget the title of it, but it has those prices in a thumbnail. And I go over the charts as well to kind of show how I came up with those numbers and why and stuff like that. So I know I'm just doing Q&A here, but if you're looking for more information on those numbers, I did a video on it to break it down for you. Let's see. Oh my God, hold on. Sorry, my chat just refreshed. I didn't realize I was this far behind. Tesla Dogecoin is coming. Oh yeah. 6 cents seems like a dream. I would buy a lot there. Yeah. Yeah, me too. That's probably like my DCA roughly is around 5. So most of my coins are around 5 cents. So that would be as close as I can get without, blowing my DC out of proportion. But coin count matters, and I would absolutely load up at that point. Like easy money, easy money. Great. Being super busy has kept me from watching, so I'm going back to watch the shorts. Love the literal shorts on the cover. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, it's the best way I can describe shorts. So I just put a pair of shorts on the thumbnails when I talk about them. Elon would do it when he can pump Doge prices, not when everything is down. Same with the Doge One launch. Yeah, it's hard to gain that kind of momentum when the market's selling off. Can it be done? Sure, but it's hard to. It's certainly easier to do it when the market is doesn't have that gray cloud of like wonder hovering over it. So it is certainly a lot easier to do. Buy every paycheck and will not stop until noon. There we go. Good job, David. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Do you believe Doge will go to $1 this year? Hard to say. Again, I'm still waiting on some confirmations from these macros because I need to see if we're going to be more aggressive with these basis point hikes to get inflation under control. I need to see these CPI numbers, and this is ultimately going to determine if we're going to see a vacuum on the market from these large institutions to rebalance their portfolios. Because when we start seeing the breakdown, and if it starts looking like we're going to head into a recession, these large investors, whales, institutions, they're going to go from okay, let's make money to let's protect our money, and they're going to start switching up positions. And technically speaking, crypto is still seen as riskier than the stock market, so they're going to move a lot of money around to kind of hedge themselves against potential downfalls. And shorting is a part of that hedging process. I'll get into that later, but then they'll start putting their assets inside of companies that they believe are going to produce, are going to come out on the other side of this a lot stronger. So this is when they start really investing in like that top 5 that we talked about. So it's really, we're really gonna have to wait on these macros here to get confirmation to kind of see what kind of year we're going to have here, because again, we've only been off of QE roughly about 30 days, so we have no idea if there's going to be a massive like constriction, what type of interest rates, because we see interest rates rising, still low, but we see them creeping up. So, and this is just 30 days in. So again, this is still relatively new. We're going to have to give this some time here to kind of see what the actual numbers are going to look like, but we see them climbing. So we're just going to have to keep our ear to the ground over the short term here. And this will kind of give us an idea of how the rest of the year is going to play out. So don't be over leveraged. Honestly, forget about the money I have in crypto because I focus on other things in life. Stick to your price targets and research. Don't deviate. Smart, smart, smart. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I don't know why my chat's like I'm like way behind on my comments. I truly believe that Elon announcing Tesla acceptance is the biggest catalyst because that will really bring it up to about 40 cents, maybe even 50 cents. I think things will start moving. Yeah, I think the Tesla acceptance is great. Because I really think that him just integrating it, especially in like his different business ventures, like even if everything works out with Tesla and we get the not Tesla, Twitter, and we get that integration in there, I think that'll be a great. But I'm all for utility across the board. I think all of that can only help. That's like an inside bar pattern indicates a period of consolidation and is usually followed by a continuation move in the direction of the in the direction of the current trend means that there's no clear direction for Doge. Correct? I mean, technically, so even when it comes down to like charting I don't want to say, because even the best charts I've seen have been like 60 to 80% correct. Um, Especially when it comes to crypto, because technically, even a coin like Doge, just because I believe that the numbers, we're not actually looking at the actual numbers here. You can technically apply that logic to it, but as far as for Doge and the amount of money that they're going to spend to continuously keep the prices down, I don't think that's like indicative for it to fit inside of that chart pattern. I think that as money, because people right now they may not necessarily have the same buying pressure as it did like May of last year or something, but people are not selling what necessarily as aggressive as the charts are reflecting. So I think that in this pattern here, you can have the consolidation, but as the people who are shorting Doge have to kind of spread their money out amongst other areas, we're going to see more of its true price reaction. So we may not get that continuation in the same direction. See, there's a lot happening behind the scenes with the foundation, and more people are involved. There's being a ton of coming by the end of the year. Well, there's going to be a ton coming at the end of the year. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. We have some big catalysts and some potential for some really big waves coming out. Absolutely. David, do you think everyone should make do you think Dogecoin should make everyone hold their coin for 6 months unless they use it as a transaction? I mean, I think that would kind of go against um, what Doge was created for. I guess if you're saying in terms of like price action, maybe that would help. But as far as for the actual purpose of the coin, that would kind of go against it. Um, but I don't think that just because of what the core was founded on and the purpose of it, I don't think that that should be something that will be implemented. See, mortgage rates were 2.5 cents for a 30-year 12 months ago. Now over 5%. Huge move. Housing getting hammered. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's what I meant by we're seeing the numbers creep up and we're only 30 days into all of these adjustments. This is why that's why I'm answering a lot of these questions with we're going to have to see here over the next 30 to 60 days, kind of like what these numbers are going to balance out at. But we are seeing movement, and for bullish for a bullish market, the numbers we're seeing are moving in the wrong direction for that. So this is the potential to have a vacuum on the market. But if you have money and you have the ability to jump into the positions you want, this is going to be like Black Friday shopping. It's going to be a great time to be alive if you're in position. So, even if it's trying to bring your DCAs down and stuff like that, increase coin count, stocks as well. This is not limited to just crypto. It's going to be a great time to be alive. See, will you be here to help if I haven't watched your latest upload on the psychological? Because then as things start to fly, I like to get some realistic pointers. Sell, keep this much in. Yeah, yeah. No, I don't plan on going anywhere. I have a video, like I have a series actually on like the psychology of investing and stuff like that. The first installment of that series is going to come out like within the next 72 hours. I'm going to start with FOMO, and we're going to break through um, pretty much all the areas of the psychological portions of investing. So yeah, I'll be here, especially around that time. I think it'll be very important so that the internet's not flooded with crap and moon boys and stuff. Let's see. Hit the like button, subscribe, people. David's answering our questions in the chat, something no other YouTuber does. Thank you. I appreciate you. Look, Dave, I know the low price doesn't bother you that much, but our frustration level is over 9,000 when it comes to the current price. Dragon Ball Z reference, like it. Yeah, no, I understand the frustration, but you have to have the patience to understand the cycles of the market. Because technically speaking, if we look at the charts and the next cycle, next bull run, if we do go into a recession, have that market breakdown, and then we appreciate and go to all-time highs, people are going to pray for the prices that we're seeing right now across the board. And for all the people who have been in here for like a year or been in here for months, there's no like if you don't get what you want, or as far as for like the return you want, like this is ample amount of time. This is not limited to Dogecoin. It's Bitcoin, Ethereum, any of the coins that I believe are going to survive the consolidation, stock market as well. Everyone has had a lot of time to get their positions in order to their desired amount. So I understand the frustration, but we have to understand there are cycles in the market. I've done a number of videos on the cycles. If you guys are not sure what I'm talking about, but the cycles in the market, they can there's not a like a 2 month thing. It's not a 6 month thing. We've seen massive manipulation across the board in the market. Like we've gotten artificially pumped up with quantitative easing money, the COVID money, PPP money. Everything's been pumping this market, and now the market has to adjust. It has to consolidate. That money must be dispersed. It must be accounted for. So we cannot a lot of the pumps that we've seen over the last 12 months, 24 months, I'm not saying they weren't real, but they were certainly exaggerated. You can consider COVID money and QE and all that kind of stuff, consider it like steroids. A lot of things, not saying that the market shouldn't have grown and shouldn't have went up, but not that much. We saw historic runs here, and there's a time of accounting, and you have to be patient while we go through that time of accounting. We can't just say, oh yeah, we artificially pumped the market up, gave everybody money, made it rain, PPP money and stuff like that, and then we're going to cut all that money off, have massive inflation, and then continue where we left off and continue this trajectory to the moon. That's not how it works mathematically. So just consider the points that we're at right now a time of accounting. Sorry, just refreshing here. See, I purchased 1 million Doge at 31 cents, 324K a year ago. Hold. Okay, there we go. Yeah, hold it, man. I'm telling you, these, holding. If you don't like being in the red, you're always welcome to average down. But consider, just timing, and consider the patterns here, and just consider Doge. Just look at it more so on, an annual. I really say 5 years, but I know how crypto has gained this reputation of, invest now, rich tomorrow. And that's kind of, hurting the community as a whole. But we have to, just not ignore the cycles. And sometimes these cycles can last a year or so. So we have to, just not kind of bend those to our patience level. But yeah, I agree, man. Hold. And thank you for the super chat as well. Let's see, David, what are your thoughts on Miles G and Matt Wallace scamming their subscribers with pump and dumps? Please respond to this. I'll say, I think that, and one of the things that even in my psychology video and what I often say on my channel is, when it comes down to investing, I think that everyone should, not just take anything anyone says as face value. Just, do your own due diligence and become proficient in investing. That's why I'm transparent about where I come up with my numbers. That's why I don't hide any of the indicators that I'm using. I explain why I got this. A lot of the indicators I like to use, a lot of the patterns that I like, I went over the cycles, what I thought. If I see something negative and I think we're going to have a breakdown in the market, I'll make a video on it. Even though it may not get as many views, or people are like, oh, you're spreading FUD. I just like to be transparent, because there are two sides to the market. And I think that we have to, as a community, people just kind of have to not feed into what their desires are, or just, the quick money, or just looking for videos or information to confirm what they want to believe. I think that you kind of have to have an open mind and understand that the market as a whole is not always going to go up, and just consume information in general so that you can make educated decisions, and not just fall in love with, influencer, or anyone, myself included. Don't take what I say as as Bible either. Do your own due diligence. If I can provide value with you, for you, and you decide to use something, or you check it out and you see that it's true, fine. If you disagree with what I say, that's fine as well. But more so, I think a lot of times people get in trouble just comes from not doing their own due diligence and kind of like depending on YouTube and support groups and communities and stuff like that to do it for them. And I actually talk about this, not other influencers, but I talk about this in general in my psychology video because I think it's a real issue in the community. So just look out for that within like the next day or so. Most people are not cut out for crypto. The paper hands will be the same hands buying in when FOMO kicks in. That's true. That's true. Let's see. Don't invest based on your emotions. True investing is a long-term game. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Okay. Cool. Cool. All right. So if you haven't yet, like the video, share the video with a friend. If you guys want, I'll go live again tomorrow. And we can kind of do this again. I have a video plan for tomorrow, but I can go live if you guys want to do a Q&A as well. It seems like you guys have a lot of questions. I try to make these videos like 2 hours long or anything like that, just so if people wanted to watch them, they could do so in a consumable piece. But yeah, definitely like the video, share the video with a friend, subscribe to the channel if you want to hear more from me, and check out the video I posted roughly 2 days ago if you want to understand what shorts are and how they're affecting Dogecoin. I'm going to dive into that as well because I think that this is certainly something that needs to be discussed in the community. But other than that, I appreciate all of you. Thank you guys for tuning in with me, and have a good night.